Hello guys and welcome to Tier 1 here in Belgium. It's round 2. We saw a brilliant race last week from these guys in Hungary, but when do we not see a brilliant race from the Tier 1 guys? And I expect no different today, especially as we've got some moisture in qualifying. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a huge only win as always, but it'll be equally still interesting now, I'm sure. I think I know a few people that will take the battle to him based off Friday's results and based off things I've seen through practice with people. But it's going to be exhilarating as always. Tonight I'm joined by the walking encyclopedia of F1. It's Carl Edens. How are you?
Evening, Connor. The encyclopedia is in the comms box, and it's absolutely looking like a wonderful qualifying session if you're a duck.
Yeah, I mean, I think the duck. I don't know how close we are to a lake in Spa, but we could very quickly have one in this quali session. If I was the drivers, I'd be filling the tanks up for multiple laps, and unless it's going to dry up, we don't know the weather forecast of course. But it'll be worth seeing if you've got any early predictions before we even start from things you've seen out of nowhere.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is obviously Eugeni's going to be one to watch here, and if anything's to go by from Friday, because I was part of that race, I could see Ben up near the front, probably most likely Ant as well, because those two took it to the bus stop on the very last lap, on lap 44 on Friday.
Yeah.
But it's usual suspects, I reckon, at the front, like Chris and Kidd, Saviour, the usual suspects up at the front.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all, but I'm going to take us for a lap of this wonderful circuit with the boy Error Voice. He's going to come down the pitch straight. He will brake slightly earlier than normal due to the wet conditions. It'll be about 100 metres and swing it in. Try and hit the apex as much as you can. Let the car drift wide early on the power to try and get the best exit you can now. It's through the ever famous Eau Rouge and Radion when he finally gets there, which will be in about now. So he's going to fly up there. Is he going to be flat through there? He's not. You do have to lift in these conditions because otherwise you're going to face that barrier on the right hand side, which we've actually seen a lot of sad fatalities. Now we've got a very, very long straight, a never ending Kemmel straight that takes you straight into the next right hander, which is usually quite high speed. You have to lift quite a lot more in the rain and then straight to a left, straight back into the right, which is again a very quick right hander now into a right-hander that feels like it never ever ends. It just goes on, and then you've got to search for traction the entire way round, then into No Name, which has become a lot faster on this game, I think. And the gravel trap on the exit, which you have to be careful not to run out wide now through my favourite part of this circuit. Poo on 3 left-handers to well 2. It feels like 3, but it's 2. And you just got to hold the throttle as much as you possibly can through the next right. It's again just another search for traction and then get the line right, because this left can lose you time if you take it wrong. Avoid the curb because it does tend to spin you into the right hander next, where you come to the end of the second sector. Again, don't go too wide because that curb is deadly, and don't touch that inside curb because that will throw you as well. Now you've got pretty much a straight but curvy line all the way to the bus stop chicane. I don't think it's called that anymore, but I'm calling it the bus stop because that's its most iconic name. Because it feels like you're at a bus stop, because you literally do come to a stop, but you break about 100 metres, you've got to fling it in, you've got to hit the first apex, try and keep it tight to get the best possible exit for the final corner, and then down, DRS open straight away. It won't be in these conditions, and a 56.9, I feel like that's a good time in the wet.
As Eugeni does a 52.6 to blitz that
Well,
on the same tyres in the same conditions.
Well, Error Voice, I can confirm it wasn't a very good lap. Because you don't.
It's not a bad start. It's not a 56.9. A Calvin with a 55.4. So Error Voice with a like a 56.9 is he's done. It's a decent lap. I mean, as you say, we're probably a lot of people have put a couple laps of fuel in and just going to be going round as the track improves over time with the cars getting rid of as much water as they possibly can on that racing line.
Yeah, I'm very offended by Ant. He just says hi, Mr. Edens. I am here as well, Ant. Thank you. Like, cheers, mate. Like, it'd be nice to be there. Bear in mind, I started the stream as well. But okay, cool. Hello, Carl. How are you? I'll let you take the stream away. You enjoy. I'll sit here silently.
Don't, please.
It seems like that's what I want.
I've just done a 50% race. My brain's not
fun,
functioning properly. Well.
That's fine. Riley Doodles, I've seen that name before. I still have no idea who you are, but hello to you as well. Is my headset really quiet?
No, you're fine through mine, so I can't I don't think there's any issues.
Can you do me one favour? Maybe mute your mic and just let me know if I can be heard on stream. Just so I know. I'll carry on commentating, but we're going to see LRL through the bus stop. He is a driver. He missed last week, sadly, but he's ever quick as always. Let's see what he can do. I believe he's from Belgium or near Belgium.
I can confirm that you're golden.
Okay, I thought you were going to say I can't hear you. I was like, oh no, don't give me these technical difficulties. I was going to have a panic attack then. But into P8 for LRL. It's great to see him back. Let's have a look at another man that missed. Oh, Ben!
Oh, Ben with a 52.3.
If I call someone Ben A. Pastor, it's him.
I did say he was going to be one near the front because of his performance on Friday.
Yeah, is that a little statement to you, Jody? Go and catch me if you can. One thing to advise you about Ben A is don't give that challenge to you, Jody, please. Because he will find a tent that you will never find in your life. And that's not me degrading your ability. We know you, Jody, very well. So, let's see what Nev can do. He's coming into the bus stop now. So, how strong is this lap going to be from the Ever Quick, formerly known as Chatty Duck? Let's see. Where's he going to go? Into P15 early on, but like I said, I think some of these cars will be fueled up for quite some time. Fox has just decided to make his way out the pit as well. Baby Hornet's just come in. Where is Baby Hornet at the minute? In P5, blimey, he's got a nosebleed.
And it's just coming up to Puon on a flying lap, his first run.
Do you know what? I have a feeling, and it's a very weird feeling, but I do think it may dry towards the end of the session.
It does look like it's improving as qualifying's progressing.
Well, I can see drivers fiddling with their tyres because I've got the tyres up on the screen.
52-1 for you, Joni. Takes provisional pole back.
Yeah, it certainly is. So it's game on between him and Ben. Ben's on another lap here, but he's down, so I think he's recharging the battery a little bit on this lap. But no, I'm seeing people with the tyres up that are like flirting with the idea of softs. So I'm wondering if they are expecting towards the end to potentially have to put softs on. But the track is definitely way too wet at the minute. You can see the rain hitting the floor. It's heavy enough, definitely still for inters for the time being. Let's go and have a little gander and a watch of... who should I watch? Let's go and have a look at the McLaren man, Chris Bailey, who's going to come across the line now. There you go, into P3. He's a bit of a way off his teammate Ben and a little bit off, but look at that from Saviour. Wow. Yeah. 200ths of a second off you, Joni, as well. Thing is with wet qualifying is it can mix up the grid, can't it? You've got to get your timing right for your lap.
It can really shake things up because those drivers that know their ability in the dry, but when it comes to driving in the wet, they may not have the same ability as they do in the dry, so it can really shake things up and jumble up the grid, as you say.
Yeah, it certainly can.
As Chris decides to do a bit of rallycross going across the grass.
This track is definitely improving though. I'm seeing drivers jump up majorly every second because I'm going down to watch them, then all of a sudden they're coming across the line. I'm like, please, can you stop? But Kid's up to 6. Jules is up to 4th as well.
Yeah, as you said, it is improving as it's going along, but it still looks relatively greasy for soft tyres at the moment.
Yeah, you can see the raindrops hitting the floor. When you can see that, that's very much an indication of no sign of softs. And I mean, we've got 7 minutes to go. It'll be interesting to see. If it stops raining in the next 2 or so minutes, we could see dry tyres right at the very end. Or people risk for dry tyres anyway. But again, let's go and have a look at the Fox River 8. He is just coming into Sector 1. Well, to the end of Sector 1, I should say. Ben, wow,
Ben,
what a lap that is!
The 50s.
1.1 seconds ahead of you, Joni. Now that might be a catch me if you can moment. That's 4 laps on those tyres as well. That's an impressive lap. Really impressive lap.
It wonders how much fuel he's got in as well, because as you said, people fueling up for a few laps, and is obviously the fuel has gone down over time. The track has evolved, has improved, and also the tyres are still there. So he was able to improve massively as Micromash goes P5 on a 52.8.
I tell you what, Fox River 8 is absolutely flying. He's purple in the middle sector. He's absolutely on the move. Could this be a pole lap from Fox River 8?
Time will tell. Still got the bus stop to go.
He did look a bit twitchy towards the end of the first sector, so I think maybe he out turn 1, so maybe he had a bit of a moment out of 1, which lost him some time. But this could... Oh, the bus stop's going to have hurt him there. That's not going to... I think that's just taken nearly his whole lap time away from him.
P10.
Yeah, I think he lost
in the
a
middle.
lot. But let's have a little look. Let's Baby Hornet's just starting. Let's have a look at someone towards the end. Hodge is just starting. Micromash. Let's have a little look at him. He's invalidated. Let's not watch him.
Ooh, just jumped to Dunbest, and he got a bit of a moment at Campos.
Yeah, he did. Ants just had a moment as well at Campos as well, which is he
is it Campos or Campus?
I think it's Campus actually. I think you might be right.
Yeah.
But,
I stand corrected.
And went wide on and invalidated his lap, so that will have hurt him. But Thomas Hornet up to 13th. I think he'll be pretty happy with that, but he will need to rush back to the pits to get another set. Well, he's just put that set on, so he may just recharge and then go again, quite possibly. Ben's still out. I'm surprised Ben hasn't come in. He's surely going to come in now and put a new set on right for the end, because Eugeni's out on a new set as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, if some of the drivers are going out on a new, fresher set of Vinces, then it kind of gives the idea that the race is probably going to be dry, because they ain't having to save any of the wetter tyres for the race.
Yeah, that is very true, but I'll tell you what I am going to do. This could be a lap of the century. Let's have a look at Mr. Damiano Eugeni and see how he gets on over this beautiful, illustrious track. So, again, he's going to be super strong through that middle sector. Wherever there's a tight technical part of the track, that's where Eugeni really comes to his best, isn't it, normally?
Yeah, he's most likely, or probably definitely, the strongest driver in the league when it comes to technical sections of tracks where there's a lot of traffic ahead of him.
Oh, I hope that racing ball gets out of the way. He is about 1/10 up though through the first sector. That racing ball very nearly got in the way there, and it doesn't look like it's trying to get out of the way just yet either.
The Alpine got out of the way down the Camel Straight.
Saviour has got out of the way, yeah. So
Eugeni goes through, no problems.
This is looking at the timing at the top. This is looking stupidly quick from Eugeni, because I've been watching the timing go through on the run down to Pouon, and he's very, very quick. But let's see.
Yeah, he's got brand new inters, and obviously the track is a lot better than it was at the start, because you can see the racing line of it go nearly in the gravel.
I'll tell you what though, at this rate he's going to look very clear for pole, and don't forget he will get one more lap in at the end of this session as well. He will have time, he can go round again, he can recharge and go again, and he most likely will on these tyres. So let's just see though, because this could be really, really impressive. But don't forget, Ben has just come out on a new set of tyres as well. So this could be very, very
nails the bus stop.
This is going to be a low 50, I think. There you go.
50.3.
There's your benchmark. 7/10 for Ben to find somewhere. Let's go and have a look down at Mr. Blowhole Bailey. He's 1.3 seconds up himself as well.
Yeah, the track's at its best-ish for saying the conditions that we have at the moment, but this is the best chance everyone's got in qualifying right at the end, where the track's very much gripped a lot as Chris jumps up to third just behind his teammate.
I wish this yellow flag would go away so I can see how much time's left for the set. There you go, 1 minute 55. So Bailey won't get another lap in unless he's going to go back to back. But Baby Hornet into P5, I did miss that as well. Let's have a look at the ever quick Kid Dynamite. Let's see what he's doing. It's not telling me his sector split though, which is a bit annoying. He's definitely on a push lap. But if we know Kid Dynamite, he's always a contender for pole, isn't he? No matter what. Like,
yeah,
you can never rule him out. But let's see what Mr.
Nice and tidy through the bus stop.
Oh, bit wide on the exit and a bit of a twitch, but it's going to be impressive. It's P4 at the minute, but I think these times are just going to tumble. That's the last chance saloon as well for him. But let's go and have a look at Ben. What's he doing? He's coming to the end of the first sector. Let's see what his first sector split is. Don't forget, Eugenie was only marginally up. So if that's the case, he hasn't got a panic. And I tell you what, he's actually more up. He's more up. He's faster than Eugenie was in the first sector. So that's very, very impressive. Obviously, the first sector, it very much comes down to wings in the first sector because there's only one corner, isn't there, really? Realistically.
Yeah.
So it is the middle sector where all the time's gained.
Yeah, where the suspension pays dividends.
It certainly does, but this Ben lap looks like it's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm wondering, so G-Star's not going to be out again, Nev's not going to be out again. Those two are definitely done for qualifying. I'm surprised they haven't tried to go out at the last possible moment. I'm very surprised, but let's have a look at Ben. 7/10 up. He's got enough as it stands for pole, but I'm presuming Eugenie's also on another lap.
It does look that way.
So Ben needs to find a lot and hope Eugenie doesn't, because the last person that crossed the line in the wet conditions tends to be the man that gets pole. Has Ben gone too early here, essentially? But let's have a look. He was 7/10 up, so at the minute, you would say he's looking good for pole. He's run it a bit wide. He did what Kid did, though. That might hurt him, but it's a 50.2. I don't think it's going to be enough. Eugenie was up in the first sector as well. Let me go and have a look at... Actually, I don't really want to just focus on Eugenie, though. That's the thing. Let's have a look at what Hodge is doing.
For you.
What is Hodge doing? He's coming to the end of the second sector. He's 9/10 up, so Hodge is looking good at the minute for a roundabout P6.
Eugenie's 2/10 up on his best lap. He's gone purple in sector 2 as well.
He's looking good for pole. Then he's the person behind Hodge, so I'm going to try and watch Hodge and then flick straight up to Eugenie to catch the end of his lap. But this is looking very good from Hodge. This could be a top 6 for Mr. Hodgson. Let's see what he can do. He's come around the bus stop. That's the cleanest exit from the bus stop I've seen yet. But that's up to P6. Look how I called that. What's Eugenie is? But wow, what a lap! That is incredible. Let's go have a look at Fox River 8, who's coming to the end of the middle, well, the end of the lap, to be honest. Bobo into P3. Good luck from him. I believe
Micromash has just gone third as well.
Let's see what Fox can do, though. I don't think he's going to be challenging the pole positions, but is he going to get up until 16th? Maybe he struggled a little bit in the wet
Chris
conditions.
stays P5.
Yeah, he does. So that is the grid, and I tell you what, that is a mouth-watering grid we have there. Have we got a three-way fight for the win? Have we got a five-way fight or a six-way? Because Kid Dynamite's right there as well. Saviour's a bit lower than I expected him to be, though, because he's usually very strong in the wet conditions.
Yeah. One that I was probably expecting to be up near the front has had a bit of a nightmare and starting right at the back.
Yeah. I thought Ant maybe a bit higher than that. He's usually strong in all conditions. But your grid for the race, Eugenie takes pole, Bene in second, Microbash third, Bobo in fourth, Chris Bailey is fifth, Kid Dynamite in sixth, Jules is seventh, Mark Hodgson in eighth. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that. LRO in P9, Saviour P10, Baby Hornet in P11, the first of the Red Bulls. Samflad in P12, Mahmood in P13, Calvin P14, G-Star P15, Fox in P16, Nev in P17, Dumbest Hornet P18, Aerovoice 19th, and Ant in last place. Who's your prediction to take the win? And if you say Eugenie, the comments will call you boring, so don't say Eugenie.
It's gonna be very close between Eugenie and Ben, and it's bone dry looking at it. Bright sunshine for the race.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Complete different contrast to what we had a moment ago in the qualifying.
Yeah, most definitely. It's usually very exciting though, Tier 1.
It's exciting being on track with them because of the couple of occasions that I've reserved Tier 1 last season. It's always nice to be on track, and sometimes you can learn a thing or two from our top drivers in the league if you share the track with them.
Yeah, very much so. They're always very strong, always entertaining to watch, know how to go wheel to wheel with each other as well, don't they?
And the gaps tend to be very, very close, whether it's at the front or towards the back.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched a Tier 1 race where there hasn't been action the whole way through.
Currently, the 5-minute break, though, for everyone to have a breather between qualifying and race, sort the setups, go toilet, have a drink if they need it.
Have you got any facts of this track for us?
Well, the length that 20 drivers for this one are going to do that Tier 2 did earlier will be a race distance, the 50% mind you, will be 95.699 miles is the total everyone in this race will be racing a total of, which is the 22 laps.
Yeah, it is a never-ending track, isn't it? It has to be said.
Yeah. And obviously, key things that have happened here in the past, obviously, you mentioned fatalities and stuff like that, because obviously we lost Anton Uber in an F2 race, sadly. Lando Norris crashing at a similar position in very, very wet conditions in qualifying. We had the famous overtake by Mika Hakkinen in 2000 when he split Michael Schumacher between himself with the back marker. I think it was Zonta in the middle when he went for the move down the Camel Straight.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about the 98 pile up out of La Source, which was caused by David Coulthard losing the car, which caused a domino effect and causing 13 cars to crash in that one.
In terms of like actual moments you remember from races, other than maybe 2021, which I won't go into detail with, but that moment is probably arguably the most memorable moment, or one of the most memorable moments in F1 history. I think everyone's seen that
the commentary that Murray Walker had at the time, he was like in pure shock and horror, and you could hear it in his voice as well, because I don't think we've seen anything like that. But we had something similar with I think it was 5 cars in towards turn 1, which was caused by Grosjean coming together with Lewis, which caught a few cars later down the line, because Fernando Alonso almost lost his head in that one, because that was before we had the Halo device on the cars.
Yeah, that was a big crash that day, wasn't it?
And just for a bit of entertainment, we had almost 2 punch-ups in the pit lane on 2 separate years. Obviously, going back to '98 when Schumacher tried to lap David Coulthard in wet conditions. Obviously, the two drivers came together and both made it back to the pits. Michael marched all the way down to McLaren and had it out with David Coulthard.
Yeah.
But the first punch-up kind of incident we had was back in 1987 when Nigel Mansell collided with Ayrton Senna. And when Mansell got back to the pit lane, he marched all the way down to Lotus and had it out with Ayrton Senna.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is a track that's brought a lot of, controversies in the past. It's also like you could argue the almost massively blow point of the Rosberg-Hamilton relationship as well. That's where it really blew up.
Yeah, with the contact at Le Combs, where Rosberg came together with Lewis and Lewis got the puncture and Rosberg lost an end plate.
Yeah, that's where them two really... Well, I mean, they were never on good terms even before that, but that's where it really hit the next level
It's amazing how a championship fight or a championship rivalry can turn best of friends into bitter enemies.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's like, I mean, I think someone's just gone into the back of Chris on that. Yeah, Chris and Jules have just collided on the
Jules
pitch,
by
right?
looks of it.
Chris was very slow though.
Savy and Baby Hornet getting disqualified as well on the formation.
I wonder if they got caught up with the Chris, because Chris was very, very slow off his marks there, or either that or Jules was very, very quick off his marks. So, I wonder if that could be seen in the stewards, quite possibly, but who knows? They're going to have horrible tyres off that start.
I don't think it really affects the tyres that much. I don't know, even though they're sat there, because I think they'll still have at least warmish tyres once we get the 5 red lights coming on.
Yeah, certainly will. That's
and like Ant put in the YouTube, leave a like if you're watching.
Yep, everyone, you heard the man. You all should be leaving a like. Get involved in the YouTube chat as well. Last week you were all very, very quiet. Start speaking to the world. Tell me what you love about Belgium.
I think most people that probably watch Tier 1 are just glued to what's happening on the screens rather than listening to us gobble on.
Well, yeah, I mean, actually, usually, sorry guys, I'm slacking today. The tyres, let's have a look. So you got Joni and Bobo both on the soft, Chris also on the soft with Jules. There's a wide mix of tyres here. A lot of people have gone the soft strategy, so I think people are going to be doing soft to medium today.
Yeah, there was quite a wide split in Tier 2 as well, with the soft and the medium tyres.
Yeah.
I reckon Chris was talking to me before Tier 2, and he reckons starting on the softs because it would give you that undercut on those that are still yet to pit that are starting on the mediums, and then you just gotta, if they catch you, just try and stick with them.
I have to say though, I did use the hard tyres in practice today and they feel absolutely terrible around this track.
Oh, the hards are horrible around here. They've got superb life, but they're just horrible. They don't seem to give you any bite at Pouon, just for an example, as we're just about to get the 5 red lights.
We certainly are. We've got 1, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are eventually going to go racing. It's a good start from Eugenie, actually a bad start from Ben. He looked more on the defensive, but he seems to have had a good second phase, which has kept him ahead of the other guys.
Carbon fire at the back, bit of a car park, sorry Connor.
Oh yeah, I've just seen someone go flying into the gravel. I wonder if it's Xavier, because he dropped, I think he dropped a few positions. But the guys who didn't get to go on their formation lap seem to be pretty good, but this is always a track you never want to start on pole at. Let's have a look. Can Ben get anywhere near Eugenie? No, he can't. No. Oh, I always think when that grass flips up at this track, I always think it's a wing going flying, but snow. It's just the grass flicks up really wildly at this track.
Yeah, I noticed that during qualifying and even at parts of the race in Tier 2 as we're having great scraps with a couple of drivers towards the back end of the field. Neville and Ant at the moment for 18th and 17th.
Yeah, and Mark and Xavier side by side through Puon as well. Xavier's gone round the outside, he's going to go up the inside. What a move that is from Xavier on Mark. Mark's not got those medium tyres working just yet, but those softs definitely paid a bit of dividends for Mr. Xavier there. But I'll tell you what, Eugenie hasn't run off the way I thought he would on the softs.
No, he hasn't, and the mediums tend to take at least a lap or two to get into that temperature working window. It's a long lap, so they get plenty of time to heat up, especially in that middle section of the track.
Yeah, but Ben's right with him at the minute. Micromash just had a moment out of the final corner, so that's going to hurt him now heading down to the sources. Bobo going to be able to get anywhere near him. I don't think he is, but he might do down the Kemmel straight. And I'll tell you what, Ben's looking incredible. He is not far behind Eugenie. Don't forget, Ben will have DRS on this lap as well.
Yeah, he'll be looking to utilise that off the top of
get him
under the rear wing of Eugenie, DRS wide open and easily past the Ferrari before Le Source. Sorry.
I did notice watching Tier 2 as well that you saw quite a few cars manage to, cars were getting overtaken by multiple cars down that straight, which is not a nice straight at all to be the car ahead in.
The toe, the hot lap and the DRS, put that all together, you're just an absolute rocket ship. It's just a massive slingshot.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, at the minute this is just one long train from first to last pretty much at the minute, so it's almost impossible for people to get overtaken on because so if someone does drop out of the DRS, that's their opportunity. They need to get it done there and then.
Yeah, just like Mark, for example, who's dropped out of DRS range of Saviour, who has now got his own little train behind him.
Yeah, he's coming a bit detached from Xavier, which is going to open up, it's going to make the eyes open a bit wider for Baby Hornet here, so let's see. Baby Hornet, he's not particularly close, he's under a little bit of pressure
Saviour's,
from Calvin.
And Jules battling through the bus stop, Saviour making a position from it.
Yeah, I'm going to call this now before we get to the Kemmel straight, right? Ben is going to lose 2 positions, maybe 3. Because Micromash is right up the chuff of Eugenie.
Yeah, so Micromash is going to get a double helping of the double toe, which will improve the slipstream effect even more, because he's already getting a toe off for Eugenie in there.
Could we see through
and he'll tuck him behind. There you go.
Yeah, if that straight was about 100 metres longer, you may have saw Micromash get Eugenie there as well. But
yeah,
because Micromash was carrying a lot of speed down that straight, but it's so hard for anybody. It's going to be a very strategical race for the South races. Interestingly though, Baby Hornet wasn't able to capitalise on Hodgson being a bit out of the DRS, but Hodgson was really struggling through that middle section. Is Baby Hornet going to have a look into Puon? No, he's not. He's extremely close to Hodgson.
Yeah, it was very close behind to the back of the Williams. I think Baby Hornet's missing an end plate. That Red Bull's missing an end plate on the left-hand side.
Well, that makes the pace even more impressive at this stage then, because he's definitely the quicker out of him and Mark at the minute, isn't he, at this stage? So, that's interesting. Maybe he got there. Maybe he was the damage you saw into turn 1 on that one.
Could be.
But yeah, you can see he's struggling
in certain corners.
He's struggling in the high speed in the last sector.
Oh, got a yellow flag.
I think it might have been
pitting already.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it might have been someone coming in the pits quite possibly, because that usually brings out a yellow, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Ben got super close to the rear of Micromash then into Lasour. I thought he was going to hit him, but he just about avoided. But let's have a look at what Ben can do. He's super close. I don't think Micromash will be close enough to Joni, or will he? Let's watch this on board from Ben. Again, Micromash is going to make the move, but here goes Ben. He could get 2 for 1 here, but no, he's actually been boxed in a little bit. But is he going to make the move on Micromash as well? No, he's just going to get Joni. This could be a constant thing in this race.
Yeah, there tends to be quite a lot of leapfrog down the Camel Straight into Lescoms, so usually you probably drop 2 places, but then you gain 1 the next lap, and then obviously then you could probably gain another place the next lap, but then you drop another 2 the following lap. You're constantly just going backwards and forwards.
Yeah, I've just realised as well, Hodgson lost 2 places on that last lap because Calvin and Baby Hornet both passed him. So
yeah, whilst you were watching the battle for the up front, Kid pitted. He's got no end plate himself, but he was too close to the pit lane to probably get a wing change, so he's out on fresh hard tyres.
Joni's disconnected. Sorry, Joni's disconnected.
Huge.
Well, he was just ghosted. I think he's back. I think he may have just paused it or something quickly. But he ran wide at the, I can't remember what corner it is, but and he was just on. Yeah, quite possibly. But he was ghosted. It lost the position for him to Bobo, which is that will have hurt him.
Yeah, because now he's under threat from Chris Bailey just behind in the McLaren.
And this is looking increasingly at the minute though, like potentially a 7-horse race.
A bit of a switch for Chris on the exit.
Yeah, not ideal. There's a yellow flag.
Yellow flag, that's West Hornet.
Yeah, he's had a moment. He's getting a bit detached. He'll be hoping for a safety car. He ain't made an early pit stop. But I'll tell you what, here goes Ben. He's taking the lead. Is Joni going to get Bobo here? He certainly is. So he's made up for that position.
Chris wasn't able to do anything of it. Chris still stuck behind Bobo in 5th.
Yeah, Joni will be really hunting down now, praying that he can get back in the DRS of those guys. It looks like he's already just about done it, so he'll be happy. Saviour's getting a bit detached from this pack now. He's about 1.2 behind. He's still far from out of it, but we know Saviour likes to look after his tyres. He's brilliant at looking after his tyres. Thomas Hornet is out. Yeah. He's gone in the pit lane, so potential rear wing damage for him.
Yeah, with Joni dropping a place with what happened towards the end of the last lap, he's having to use more of the soft tyres to catch up to Ben and Micromash, who get their own little toe just ahead, which obviously will pull Micromash a little bit away from Joni, but hopefully Joni, in his eyes, will want to get as close through the bus stop.
Yeah, he certainly will. But he's actually at the minute out of the DRS. They've pulled away from him a bit here, which is quite shocking because you could well see Bobo and potentially Chris cause Joni some problems here. I mean, Bobo is still a bit of a way back at 7/10, but that straight is so long you can literally be 9/10 back there with DRS. You'll probably get the car ahead. So I'm sure we're probably going to see a change for the lead here as well, because Micromash is right up the chuff of Ben, and these guys have traded every single lap I think so far. So it's just a matter of who can be there at the last lap. You want to be behind on the last lap and within DRS, but Bobo is not close enough to Joni to make the move. So Joni's got enough straight line speed in the bank here to be able to hold his position. LRL has just passed Baby Hornet for P9 as well. It
also depends what battery he's using down the Camel Straight as well, to try and hold off the attacking cars behind as well.
Well, the very big positive about this track is the minute you get away from that first section, you've then just got, you big mistake from Joni through Puon. He's just run super wide. The start of this race is very uncharacteristic of Joni.
I have noticed on a few occasions he has a bit of a iffy first stint, but when he comes onto that second stint, he's just a completely different animal.
Maybe just something in his setup doesn't get on well with a soft tyre, quite possibly.
Could be. We'll just have to keep an eye on that, and when he makes his pit stop, see what he can do on the medium tyres on his second stint, as Chris is trying to line up Bobo into the bus stop.
Saw that in the background.
He's forced an error. trying to go around the outside.
Yeah,
that's
Bobo,
great by Chris.
Bobo went super deep, and he almost switched back to him twice there in a way, in a very weird way. But very good move from Chris there into P4. The only thing is that has pushed both of them a little bit further back than they'd like to be on Jody.
Yeah, but luckily for Chris, he's still within that 1 second DRS detection delta.
He certainly is, but here goes Ben again for the lead. I'm going to cut away from that because that was an inevitable change for the lead. But Chris, he doesn't have the straight line speed that Eugenie has. And Bobo's looking around the outside, but Chris was just about enough to hold on. LRL is on an absolute... Sorry, LRL is on an absolute charge. He's making positions up the front here.
Yeah, with Ben and Micromash swapping places out front, and I think at this point in the race, the medium tyres still do come into play now with the softs coming to their latter stages. But they are really opening up against Eugenie with the leapfrogging down the Camel Straight and then the toe down through Blanchimont to the bus stop to the back end of the lap as well.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm watching some of the hard tyre runners now, like the medium tyre runners, sorry, running like what their sort of gaps are. Mark's looking at a hell of a lot more racy, so yeah, I think you're right, the mediums are definitely the tyre to be on at this stage. But we'll soon see, because look, I've never seen anyone drop Eugenie like this. And these guys are quite literally dropping him at the minute. So it's like a race between the mediums versus the softs at this point.
Saviour's
really
going for an undercut.
Yeah, I think that's smart by Saviour. He's got, with all these guys
Fox
fighting, yeah, that's not good for Claire. That's very rare from Fox and very uncharacteristic as well. It's very rare you see Fox get a time penalty.
Mood Evin as well to get off the soft tyres.
Yeah, certainly is. But it'll be interesting to see how Fox manages to... I wonder if that's going to send him for an undercut. But I'll tell you what, here goes Chris on Eugenie into... I forgot what that corner's called, to be honest with you. But Chris has got it done.
Lecons.
Eugenie is struggling here.
He doesn't look happy on the soft tyres at this point because they are now 3.6 seconds behind Micromash and Ben. Yes, the Chris, Eugenie and Bobo are fighting each other hard but fair, but it's allowing Micromash and Ben up the road to pull away on the what would be the better tyre at this point.
I'll tell you what, I'm watching Eugenie very, very carefully here, and obviously I've been with him most of the race because he's been in most of the battles. And he's going wide, he's making a few mistakes on traction that you don't normally see him make, so he definitely is, there's something wrong. Maybe there's
he's not
some
looking,
sort of damage we don't know about.
Looking comfortable for his usual self, that is a definite giveaway.
Yeah, that is for sure. Interestingly, the two Red Bulls are together on track now for P13 and 14. Mark Hodgson will be having a look at the rear end of that Alpine down the next straight quite possibly as well. But there's a yellow in sector 2. I think that might be Kid Dynamite.
Kid Dynamite at No Name.
Oh, that's such a shame seeing Kid Dynamite do.
Oh, Eugenie
like
and Bobo in.
Yeah, maybe Eugenie has gone right. I'm done with those tyres. It could. I mean, the undercut we've always seen around Belgium is very powerful. So it'll be interesting to see when Micromash and Ben actually react to that almost.
The hand.
Yeah, very much. So Ben's taking the lead back again from Micromash. Those guys have traded positions. I still think every lap of this race. But can Hodgson get the Flying Dutchman down this straight? Is he going to be quick enough to this straight? No, he's not. But G-Star is helped by a little bit of DRS from LRL just ahead. But we've got a bit of calm now because the field does spread a little bit.
Yeah, with a few of the soft runners pitting and the medium tyre runners starting to come into their own now, the gaps are starting to show a little bit.
Yeah, they certainly are. But I wonder, are we going to see Ben or Micromash potentially? It's going to be interesting to see who pulls the trigger first out of them two.
Yeah, and the other 4.7-second gap to Chris, who probably will want to look at probably pitting himself to cover off Joni, who pitted the lap they're on now.
Yeah, I think Chris
the
and
lap
Jules
prior,
kind of
sorry.
have to. I think Chris and Jules have to
Yeah.
take this lap. That's without a doubt, because otherwise they're going to get munched up by a lot of those people. Bobo, interestingly, has fallen behind Saviour. So Saviour has actually pulled a worldie of an undercut here, because he was about 4 or 5 places behind Bobo, don't forget.
Yeah, Chris and Jules are in, and you're saying Saviour with getting Bobo. His tyres are going to be to temperature, whereas those that are recently just put their mediums on are still trying to get theirs into temperature.
Yeah, they certainly are, that's without a doubt. I think Baby Hornet took a wing change because he's dropped way down the pack.
Because Saviour's just got Chris as well now.
Yeah, he has. So Saviour could even get Joni here.
Yeah, because he's tucked under the Ferrari.
The thing is, you're going to see, and here goes Saviour. He's going to make the move, and I'll tell you what, Bobo, no, he's not going to be quick enough to get Joni as well. But Saviour, I'll tell you what, at this point, could one of them two, could Saviour now be, have these guys done enough to get the undercut on Micromash and Bene? Because don't forget, the gap was still only about 3 seconds when Joni came in. That's how much time Saviour's gained by doing this. And that's how Saviour will have gained roughly, probably close to about 2.5 seconds on that undercut on to get to where he is now. Bearing in mind they've gone 3 or 4 laps over what Micromash and Ben have done as well. Ben and Micromash may have some overtaking to do here in this second stint.
Yeah, it does look that way. And they will be on the softer tyre, which would make, you would think it'll make it easier, but
if there's a train, it's never easy.
No, especially the only possible overtaking spots I would say is yes, down to the bus stops you can, but you need to keep very, very close to the car in front through Blanchimont and hopefully get alongside. But the only real possible overtaking spot is the Camel Straight.
Yeah, without a doubt. You're very much correct there. But I don't think we're going to see Micromash and Ben until probably lap 15 or so. So that's how long they're going to have to stick this out. I'll tell you what, Ben's medium seems to be struggling a little bit. He's just had a moment at the end of the Kemmel. So potentially it's time. I'll tell you what, Samplan's just passed Mark as well, and right behind them, Joni's just passed Saviour as well. But is Chris going to have a go on Bobo? No, he's not quite close enough, and he was a bit topped in by Saviour as well.
I wouldn't like to be Samplan and Mark at this point, because they're going to see that gaggle of 4 cars bearing down on them thinking, oh dear God.
Yeah, I don't think either of them really need to fight it though, let's be totally honest.
No, I don't, yeah. Both drivers I know are going to be sensible, so they probably won't put up too much of a fight because they're not really in their race. And the last thing they want to do is hamper themselves in their own fight against each other.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Mark will still get a helping hand of DRS, but look how much these guys have closed on them in this middle sector alone. I'll tell you what, I think Joni might be coming back into his own a little bit here because he's even pulled away from Saviour on this lap.
Ben I think, just dropped Micromash out of DRS, I think. Yes, he has.
Oh, yeah, big moment from Micromash out of LaSalle. Yeah.
Well held.
That was incredibly late after the traction zone, though, which is even more wild. But Joni has opened wide. Oh, I thought he was going to make a move on Mark then, but didn't. Thing is, Mark's still going to have DRS, so it's not just going to be a straightforward overtake here for Joni.
No, and this is what Micromash and Ben are probably going to... Joni's just got 3 seconds just on the top of...
Look at these two! I'm sorry to interrupt, but wow! That was some overspeed from Joni. I tell you what, that is absolutely humongous for Saviour.
The helicopter shot did that perfect justice.
I flicked to it on the absolute perfect moment. I wish I had a through. Here comes Sebastian Vettel moment then. That would have been brilliant.
Oh, it was tempting. It was so tempting, trust me.
I know, I had to sit there and be like, oh, shall I? But, yeah, it's crazy to see that even the tier 1 guys here are struggling a little bit for track limits.
Yeah, I think it was just Eugenie trying to straighten the car out as the best he can to keep the momentum off of Eau Rouge and Radion, and obviously just trickled that little bit over the white line, which caught him out. As Micromash is in.
Yeah, he certainly is. That's going to be too early. That's, what, 8 laps and set us off. We saw how they went off the people off, but then it is lower fuel now, so you might get a lap or so out of them.
I think that was Sam Flam diving in as well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see Sam Flam in. Those types of couple things very, very second hand for him at this stage. Baby Hornet, another 3 seconds. It has not been a good day for the Red Bull boys today.
My reckon is that was going through Blanchimont, probably trying to keep as much speed through and not scrub too much off and drift slightly wide on the way through.
Chris has just passed Bobo for P4. So, I'm interested to see how Micromash does now. Because don't forget, he's only about 3 seconds behind Eugenie on these soft tyres. He needs to make, Micromash needs to get these moves done quick before those softs go off.
The only thing is, it's not easy to overtake through this middle part of the lap. You've got to be super brave.
But I thought he was going to have a look in the poo on as you said that.
It looked like it. I mean, do you want to take the risk or do you want to play it sensible? It's risk versus reward, and sometimes I think the risk is not always worth it. You just want to play safe. As Fox has gone.
Oh, he has. On the exit of No Name by the looks of it.
Safety car, that's going to definitely help Ben out.
That may have just gifted Ben this race because he's going to have soft tyres. But I do wonder, are we going to see everyone else come into soft? Because don't forget, everyone will have brand new softs because it is a wet qualifying.
They have all sets of softs available.
Is Eugenie in? No. But I tell you what, the man behind him, Saviour, is. What about Chris? In as well. Bobo. In. So Eugenie is the only person that's... Eugenie with that 3 seconds could have a real problem here.
Yeah, but any drivers with penalties when as Ben's got just out ahead of him.
And I tell you who else this has played massively into the hands of, Mr. Hodgson.
Yeah, because he's yet to pit, and he's got himself a free pit stop with this one.
Yeah, that's probably the most beautifully timed. I bet Mark Hodgson's going to be in the DMs of Fox and Ray after this saying, thank you very much. So
it's luck of the draw when it comes to the safety car. Does it help your strategy or does it hamper it? It's a 50-50 split.
Yeah, it most certainly is. But this is going to be one hell of a sprint to the end now, though. And I'll tell you what, this also covers Micromash now for any worries of struggling at the end.
Yeah.
Because he's only got 1 lap on everyone else, and even that was only about, what, 3/4 of a lap at maximum he's got on those tyres. So, but I think Ben is very much the favourite for this race now, especially as he's got Eugenie between him and everybody else.
And we're probably going to have at least a lap or another lap, possibly a second, well, on the safety car once everyone regroups behind it.
But there's genuinely a chance. I'll tell you what, Sam Flan, I'm very surprised he didn't pit. He's on a hard tyre.
Yeah, he's going to be really struggling with the likes of Ant, LRL, Calvin, or, well, everyone behind him on either fresh mediums or fresh softs.
I do wonder if it's almost to him at this point worth taking the hit and just coming in and being on the faster tyre and maybe picking up any.
Yeah, having that little bit fresher tyre compared to everybody else.
He'll come out in last, or near last, but surely it's beneficial just to at least have the soft and be able to pick up any scraps that in case something happens.
Yeah, because on the restart on those hard tyres, he's just going to get absolutely swamped.
And the hards are bad here as they are, like, without even having a think. The hards are terrible around this track, aren't they? Let's be totally honest. So
I think the only time you'll probably use the hard tyre is if you're on the soft tyres and it's a very, very early safety car.
yeah.
But even then, I think some people would probably risk staying out on the soft tyres and waiting for either a second safety car or waiting just to their normal window to avoid that tyre altogether.
Yeah, certainly. But this is going to be a very, very interesting end to the race. It's going to be literally like a sprint race now to the end, isn't it, to be honest? So I fear for you, Joni, here, because with how close the gap was at the start of this race, there's a genuine chance he could drop somewhere around like the 8th position region on those mediums with the 3-second penalty.
Yeah, and with everyone around him with much fresher tyres and the quicker tyre as well, it's going to be asking a little bit of himself.
He's going to need to be very, very aware on this restart, let's put it that way. He's going to either need to try and get right up to the back of Ben to be able to make the move to the lead, at least temporarily, and then just pray that he can hold it lap by lap.
Yeah, he's got to try and stick with Ben the best he can.
It's vitally important he remains in the DRS of everybody else. That's the important thing for you, Joni, here.
Yeah, and he's going to have to hope that gaps start to form, especially with the likes of Sam Flam with the hard tyre in 9th at the moment. He's got to hope that there's the gaps form, so it'll help him with that penalty that he's got against him.
Yeah, 100%.
I would say the safety car will be coming in this lap because we're all bunched up together.
Yeah. Certainly, I hope.
There it is.
So, when's he going to go? That's the first question.
Yeah. I think most people tend to go, I think, halfway between Blanchimont and the bus stop. Or probably just out of the bus stop.
Well, with the advantage
with everyone
on
trying to fight for grip.
Yeah, with the advantage on tyres here for Ben, he can always just go whenever he wants, to be totally honest. But I'd go earlier here and just take... The one thing you don't want, no matter what tyre he's on, you don't want your journey behind you. He's the one driver who's dangerous at any given moment. But he has got the 3 seconds and Ben has gone.
Yeah, went at Blanchimont.
Certainly did. He's just going to be hoping, I'll tell you what, he's got a nice little gap here as well. You generally got off track at the bus at the exit, the last corner as well, so he's probably not got the heat he wants in those mediums at the minute.
No, because obviously Ben would have backed him up as much as he can to stop him from getting as much heat as he could in those mediums, and Ben already opening up near enough a second even before we hit the Camel Straight.
Here comes Micromash.
He's already, yep. The Salbot on the Ferrari.
And I tell you what, I think we're going to see a German get past the Italian man as well. This has been the worst possible restart for you, Joni. But I think you're going to get it done.
Tries to hold it. Oh, clipped. A bit of a clip between the two, but no harm done.
Yeah, I think you, Joni, may have been a little bit too ambitious trying to keep that rally outside there, because in that second part of it, 2-0 going to 1 really does it, sadly.
Yeah, we had an incident between Hamilton and Alonso there last year, I think it was, where Hamilton ended up going slightly airborne.
Yeah, certainly did. That ended his race in Belgium as well. But yeah, this has been an interesting restart so far. I think Bailey will definitely be fancying his chances at P4 for now. I mean, he hasn't got to worry too much because Eugeni's got the 3 seconds, but he doesn't want Saviour to get out of that DRS and run away.
No, he'll need to get past Eugeni as quickly as he possibly can to try and stay within that DRS of Saviour.
Yeah, he certainly will.
44-1 by Ben.
Yeah, removed 3 seconds for him. That's such a shame. But let's have a little look. I think Eugeni's going to be a sitting duck. I think Chris is definitely going to get him. That's for sure. Potentially Bobo,
yeah,
but Bobo looks a bit further back.
Yeah, Chris already attacking even before the camel straight round the outside of that little corner.
Yeah, Chris is through. Next up for Chris will be the German man who's his arch nemesis, but one of his best friends at the same time. So, let's see how quickly we can get onto the back of him.
A lot of lockups, mate, through Rivage.
Yeah, that most certainly is, but Ben is sort of just checking out now. 1.4 that gap is up to.
Yeah, Eugenie slowly dropping off Chris, but still keeping tabs with him.
Certainly is. I'm interested to see how this plays out now. I really fear Eugenie because at the minute he's looking like he could drop to P8 because obviously Jules is behind him with a 3 seconds, so he won't lose that position unless Jules gets past him.
Yeah, it's whether or not he can keep that gap to, I would say, Mark, which is probably the key one where he needs to keep that 3 seconds open from.
Well, what Mark needs realistically is Jules and Bobo to start getting involved with Eugenie, but Bobo just doesn't appear to have the outright pace right this minute. He's struggling a little bit, Bobo. He's under pressure from his teammate as well. But the issue for Mark, he's under pressure from Anton as well.
Yeah, who's on medium tyres, and yes, it may not be the quicker tyre of the soft tyre, but Ant can lean so much more on those mediums. He can be a bit hell-bent. Oh, I've seen some grass kicking up between Saviour and Micromash.
That was a very, very late move across from Micromash there. Wow. It wouldn't surprise me if we see that one in the stewards. That was...
Oh, Chris getting very close to the diffuser of Micromash on the way through Rivage.
I mean, yeah, Micromash did make his move late, but... Well, did make one move, but... Saviour had already sort of committed to that line. So... Who knows? Maybe I saw it wrong. But... Either way. I'm sure
It's going to be interesting to see what Saviour can do now in clean air. Now he's got past the Sauber.
I mean, he's definitely put his name in the hat to drive with the day today with his strategy, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, because I think Micromash is going to be under more pressure from Chris than Micromash going to be pressuring Saviour. Chris is looking to go around the outside of Blanchimont, but thinks better of it.
Yeah, there's Chris staring at a potential podium here. I think he might well be. Oh, big moment for Eugenie out the bus stop.
And with the fastest lap on those medium tyres.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how well he's going on the mediums, really, isn't it?
He can lean on them. He's got more life in those mediums than those people on the soft, so he can lean into them more for much longer.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But let's have a look, because here goes a certain Bailey. Is he going to get Saviour as well?
Nah, I think he's too far back for that.
But I'll tell you what, the two Mercedes side by side, and one of them's had to go off track and take the escape road. That'll be that Toto will be banging his desk right now because they've got a flying Aston Martin coming up towards them as well.
Yeah, and on an absolute tear on those medium tyres.
Thing is, Ant very much almost hurt his race there because of the fact that he started last, didn't he? So he sort of hurt himself a little bit with that one by not having the best qualifying. But
yeah, had a bit of mare in qualifying, starting at the back, but it's been a very good recovery drive.
yeah, it has. He managed to get himself back to the points, but it could have been so much more if he stayed up. His pace has been good. It's been up there with the leaders, so could have well been the one to fight.
He would have been, he'd more or less be fighting where Chris and Saviour is a Micromash right now if it weren't for his poor qualifying.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I'll tell you what though, Journey may be about to get Micromash. I wonder if Micromash is soft and just for some reason fallen off a cliff.
Burnt off quicker than everybody else's.
Yeah, maybe those few laps under the safety car just took some unexpected wear out of them. But he doesn't seem comfortable. Maybe his, like Journey's setup, just isn't comfortable on the soft.
Yeah, because Journey's looking a lot more happier on those medium tyres, even though they're rather used compared to everybody else's softs.
Well, ironically, he's probably going to come back at these guys now because of having better tyres. But I tell you what, look at Bailey.
Ooh, that is tight.
What a move that is round the outside. And it's a McLaren 1-2. Oh, that was very in sync. I didn't like that.
Oh, yeah, no. Let's not do that again.
That was said exactly in sync in my ears, and I did not like that one bit. But
no, I didn't either.
Oh, I cringed at that. Anyway, moving on. So, Bobo's ironically been overtaken by his teammate Jules. But the thing is, Bobo will be a bit frustrated, I think, by that, because obviously he's got 2 cars ahead of him now that have 3 seconds. Yeah, okay, he's going to get them, but he's now under an awful lot of pressure from Ant as well.
Yeah, just like Micromash, he seems to be struggling a little bit on those soft tyres, but even though Bobo's is a lap fresher than Micromash is, just a lap difference, but they both seem to be struggling on the tyre at the moment. I
do question whether Ant's actually played a blinder here by picking the mediums.
It does look it, but he's having to do overtakes, and with everyone in a DRS train as they are at the moment, it's not going to be easy.
Oh no, of course not, without a doubt, you're not wrong there. But this next straight's going to be interesting because you've got everyone behind Chris Bailey. Chris Bailey can genuinely lose like 3 positions here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ant's gone round at the back. I think it was Ant. It was. He had a big moment. And I tell you what, that's music.
Still in position though.
That's music to Journey's ears.
Reprieve.
Because of that 3-second penalty, that's helped Journey a lot.
Ooh, it's getting close for comfort at Le Combs between the likes of Chris Saviour, Micromash and Journey.
I'll tell you what, Journey has come alive on those medium tyres.
Yeah. It's like the softs are slowly giving up, but those mediums that Journey's on, it's like they've gone through a graining phase, but they're slowly coming back to life now.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because it all of a sudden looks like the better driver at the moment, the more comfortable.
Yeah, without a doubt. Oh, this is a scintillating end. So what's been a brilliant Tier 1 race, Ben, he's checked out, he's in a different postcode, he's fully Max Verstappen this race. And it's rare to say that in Tier 1 about anyone other than Journey, ironically. But can Chris hold on for a McLaren 1-2?
I think the likes of Saviour and Micromash are going to wait until the Camel Straight.
Yeah, very possibly. I don't think they.
But that's a train and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nearly 7 cars.
Yeah, Ant's interestingly rejoined that
crawling back
well.
in. Yeah.
So it all comes down to this. Ben, I think we can say is going to win this race, but let's have a look at what's going to happen behind him. We've got 8 or 7 other cars all in a fight for pretty much one position. I'll tell you what, look back to P5 because look at Journey go. But let's go to Chris. He's in the defensive from Saviour. Here goes Saviour round the outside, and he's got it done just about. And Saviour's through. That's a massive move from Saviour.
Eugenie wasn't able to get Micromash due to the... Oh,
But he's got on the inside.
That is brave.
And he's got it done, but Micromash is going to hold it into no name.
Oh.
And they're still said they can't go side by side into Puon, please. Not on the last lap.
Surely
For
not.
the love of God. Oh, they are! Eugenie's run wide.
Around the outside of Puon.
Wow, what a move!
Touch.
That is insane from Eugenie.
Both Micromash and Eugenie have got to take a bow with that one. That was spectacular.
I want to see that in driver highlights after this race, please, David Arno, if that's okay. That was
both of them. I'd like to see
insane.
it from both their PAVs.
How they did not make contact, because I believe the Eugenie wiggle was because of a switch, a loss of traction. But I tell you what, Chris Bear, but look into the bus stop here. Is he going to go for the switchback? Ben does win. Ben will take the win. Saviour will bring it home in second. Bailey will be third. Eugenie drops down to sixth. Anton takes fifth in the end, interestingly, as well. Jules gets seventh. Bobo is eighth. Mark takes his first points of the season in ninth. G-Star. Who was that? Who crashed at the back? LRL.
A bit of a crash at the back.
Yeah, that was strange, to say the very least. But LRL did have a bit of a crash there. I wonder if we'll see
just
that one.
Just before the line as well, I think it was.
Oh, Eugenie's left the session too early.
He's disconnected.
Yeah,
it was still, what was it, P6?
I think it was, yeah, just behind Anne. But yeah, Error Voice finishes. Nev will be the last man to cross the line. I wonder if he's out of fuel. Nope, he's just got no front wing.
He's got a platypus on the front of his car.
Yeah. I mean, these cars aren't attractive without a front wing, are they? To be honest.
No, they're not. They look ugly without
especially the Racing Bull. That looks terrible, doesn't it? It really does. That is, yeah. Ugh. Disgusting. It looks like Simon Pratt. But, oh, I'm hard. Anyway. Oh, he's dead, sure. He'll penalise me for something. But Ad gets given the games driver of the day.
That's a possible shout though, because to finish where he was from the back, yes, he gained 2 places from penalties, but it's still a brilliant drive from the half French, half Portuguese, half British, half whatever he likes to be.
Yeah, half multinational. He's just like Mr. Worldwide, isn't he, really? But
pretty much.
There is the provisional finishing grid. In first is Ben, second is Saviour with that last lap move on Chris Bailey, who comes home in third. Micromash fourth. At fifth, Eugenie will be sixth. He just left the session early. Jules in seventh. Bobo eighth. Mark in ninth. G-Star 10th. Kid Dynamite in 11th. Savlan 12th. Calvin in 13th. Baby Hornet is 14th. Mahmood is 15th. Error Voice in 16th. Nev in 17th. And then you've got LRL, Fox Ray, and Dumbest Hornet. Who is that? You confirming that Ant was your driver of the day, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, yes, Ben has been controlled out front since he took the lead, but I think Ant deserves the bigger shout because, yes, he had a poor qualifying in the wet conditions, not getting the position he would have liked to have, but to go from 20th to 5th is no mean feat, especially when he was having to fight through traffic most of that race.
Well, I'm going to split it for a reason that without that safety car, I genuinely believe that Saviour may well have won that race with that undercut. He got his strategy spot on. He started P10.
He made the earliest call of the front runners, and it paid off massively. So I do agree with you on that one as well.
Yeah, I'm going to split the driver of the debut because Saviour, I still believe it wouldn't have been an easy feat because he'd have had all the tyres, and Ben and Micromash was, of course, on the soft. But I do think Saviour had a chance of winning that race. Without the safety car, he'd have had a chance of winning that race.
Yeah.
But what a race it was. What a win for Ben. That could put him, I tell you what, is it too early to say he's a title contender? Well, who knows? It depends if he can race each week. But don't forget, Tier 3, we are back on Wednesday, 7 o'clock. We will be at Belgium as well with Extreme straight after at the same time as Tier 1. And that is also at Belgium. Then Friday, we return to the Dutch GP in Zandvoort. So make sure you don't miss it. We've still got 3 more races to come this week. Carl, thank you very much for joining me.
Pleasure.
And we will see you all very, very soon. Good night.